Stop what you're doing. I need to tell you something about a word you've been speaking your entire life. A word you've heard thousands of times. A word that's been spoken in churches, in prayers, in moments of agreement. But you've never understood what you were actually saying. That word is Amen. You think it means, so be it. You think it's just the ending word in a prayer. You think it's the spiritual punctuation mark, the period, at the end of a sentence. But that's not what it means. Amen is so much more powerful than you realize. It's not just a word. It's a spiritual contract. It's an act of co-creation. It's you signing an agreement with the divine. It's you saying to the universe, this. I claim this. This is mine. I make this real. And every time you've spoken it carelessly, without understanding, you've been activating something you don't comprehend. But tonight, I'm going to show you the truth. Let me take you back to the origin. The word Amen comes from ancient Hebrew. The root word is amen, which means to be firm, to be true, to be stable, to establish. It's not passive. It's not weak. It's not a question mark or a hopeful wish. It's a declaration. It's a statement of absolute certainty. It's you saying, this is firm. This is true. This is established. When you say Amen, you're not asking for something to happen. You're confirming that it's already so. You're not hoping. You're knowing. You're not requesting. You're declaring. This is the first truth about Amen that nobody told you. But there's more. In ancient times, when two parties made a binding agreement, when they sealed a covenant, the confirmation was Amen. It was the legal, spiritual, unbreakable seal. The word Amen meant, this agreement is now binding. This contract is now sealed. This is now law. So when you say Amen, you're sealing something. You're making something unbreakable. You're entering into a binding agreement. But with what? With whom? You're sealing it with the universe. You're binding yourself to divine law. You're entering into agreement with the spiritual forces that govern reality. This is profound. Every time you say Amen without consciousness, you're creating a spiritual contract that you may not understand or want. Every careless Amen is a binding agreement being made without your full awareness. But when you understand what Amen means, when you speak it with intention, when you know exactly what you're sealing, then Amen becomes the most powerful word you can speak. Because you're not just saying words. You're activating reality. You're co-creating with divine power. You're sealing agreements that cannot be broken. The ancient mystics understood this. The spiritual masters knew this. They never said Amen carelessly. They never used it without intention. They knew that Amen was a word of absolute power. And they kept this knowledge hidden. Because they understood that if people realized the true power of Amen, if everyone understood what they were actually activating, the world would transform. So let me tell you what you've been doing, every time you've been saying Amen. Think about all the times you've said Amen in prayer. Think about all the spiritual declarations you've affirmed with that word. Think about all the affirmations. The blessings, the divine truths, that you've sealed into your reality with Amen. But think also about all the times you've said it while half listening. Think about the times you've agreed to something you didn't fully comprehend. Think about the moments you affirmed statements without really understanding what you were sealing into your life. Here's the truth that nobody told you, When you say amen to something, you're not just passively accepting it. You're actively co-creating it. You're using your spiritual power to make it real in your life. This is why the power of amen is so closely guarded. Because if people understood that their amen is literally activating things into existence, they would be much more careful about what they agree to. They would be much more conscious about which prayers they seal. They would be much more intentional about which declarations they confirm. But most people have no idea. So they say amen to blessings they don't believe in. They seal affirmations they don't actually feel. They agree to declarations that contradict their true desires. And then they wonder why their life isn't changing, even though they're saying all the right spiritual words. It's because the amen has no power when the heart is not aligned. Amen requires alignment. It requires your whole being saying yes. It requires your mind and heart and spirit all agreeing to the same truth. When you say amen from that place, from complete alignment, the power is extraordinary. Doors open. Circumstances shift. Reality reorganizes itself around your declaration. But when you say amen with doubt, with hesitation, with only partial belief, the power is diminished. The contract is weakened. The seal is incomplete. This is why many people say affirmations, and nothing changes. They're saying the words. They're even saying amen. But they're not aligned. The agreement isn't real, because their whole being isn't saying yes. The universe responds to authentic amen. Not to performance. Not to repetition. Not to going through the motions. Authentic amen. When you truly know something is true, when you feel it in your bones, when your whole being resonates with the truth of a statement, and then you seal it with amen, that's when the transformation happens. So here's what I need you to understand. Every amen you speak is a spiritual contract. Every amen is you co-creating reality. Every amen is binding you to what you're affirming. Which means you need to be extremely intentional about what you say amen to. I know you haven't thought about this before. I know you've been speaking amen your entire life, without understanding its power. I know you've said it in church services, in prayers, in affirmations, without consciousness about what you were actually sealing. But now you know. And knowing changes everything. Because with knowledge comes responsibility. When you understand that amen is an act of co-creation, when you comprehend that every amen is a binding spiritual contract, when you realize that your words have the power to shape reality, you can't go back to speaking carelessly. You can't unsee this truth. So let me ask you. What have you been sealing into your reality with amen? Have you been saying amen to affirmations of abundance, while deep down you believe you're unworthy of wealth? Have you been sealing declarations of health, while carrying beliefs about your body being weak? Have you been affirming love and connection, while fearing abandonment? If your inner belief contradicts what you're saying amen to, the amen will not activate. Because authentic amen requires alignment. This is why transformation requires inner work. This is why healing is necessary before declaration. This is why you can't just repeat spiritual words and expect your life to change. You have to believe. You have to align. You have to know in your being that what you're saying amen to is true. And then, watch what happens. The moment you speak amen from a place of complete alignment, the moment you seal something with your whole being in agreement, the spiritual forces of the universe align to make it real. Doors open. Synchronicities appear. The path reveals itself. This is the responsibility you now carry. To speak amen only when you're fully aligned. To seal only what you truly believe. To use this power consciously and intentionally. Because amen is not a casual word. It never was. In ancient spiritual traditions, initiates were taught about the power of amen. They were trained in how to use this word. They were educated on what they were actually activating when they spoke it. But this knowledge was kept in temples. It was whispered to initiates. It was hidden from the masses. Until now. Tonight. I'm revealing this to you. Because you're ready. Because the world is ready. Because enough people need to understand the true power of amen, to shift the collective consciousness. When thousands, when millions, of people start saying amen from a place of complete alignment, when they understand exactly what they're sealing. When they use this word with full consciousness, the world will transform. But it starts with you. It starts with your understanding. It starts with your commitment to speak amen, only when you're fully aligned. So here's how you use the true power of amen. First, before you say amen to anything, check your alignment. Get quiet. Go inside. Ask yourself. Do I truly believe this? Does my whole being resonate with this truth? Am I aligned with this declaration? If the answer is yes, then you can speak amen with power. If the answer is no, don't say it. Don't force it. Don't perform it. Because amen spoken from misalignment has no power. Second, when you speak amen, speak it with intention. Don't mumble it. Don't say it quickly. Don't let it be a reflexive word that you throw at the end of prayers. Speak it slowly. Speak it with feeling. Let it resonate through your entire body. Let it carry the weight of your whole being, saying yes to what you're affirming. When amen is spoken with conscious intention, with full presence, with complete alignment, the power is undeniable. Third, understand that amen is not about belief alone. It's about knowing. Belief is intellectual. Knowing is deeper. Knowing is when your whole being resonates with a truth, when you feel it in your cells, when you embody it completely. When you speak amen from that place of knowing, not just believing, but truly knowing, then the transformation is instantaneous. This is why some people's prayers are answered, and others are not. It's not that God is playing favorites. It's that some people speak from alignment and knowing, while others speak from hope, or wishful thinking. Amen activates what's true. Amen seals what's known. Amen establishes what's already real, in the spiritual realm. So the question becomes, what do you truly know to be true? What does your whole being resonate with? What truths have you moved from belief into knowing? Those are the truths you should seal with amen. Here's an example. You might hear an affirmation about your worth. You might say amen to it. But if deep down you don't truly know you're worthy, if you haven't done the internal work to shift from belief to knowing, then your amen will be powerless. But if you've done the internal work, if you've healed the beliefs that told you were unworthy, if you've shifted into genuine knowing that you are worthy, then when you say amen to an affirmation of your worth, watch how your life transforms. Doors open to worthy people. Opportunities align with the worthy. The universe organizes itself around what you know to be true about yourself. This is the secret power of amen. It's not magic. It's not supernatural. It's the simple truth that the universe responds to authentic knowing. That reality organizes around genuine belief. That your words activate what your being resonates with. When you understand this, when you use Amen consciously, your entire life transforms. Not because Amen is a magic word, but because Amen is the seal of what you truly know. And the universe never refuses what you truly know. So here's what I need from you tonight. First, I need you to acknowledge the power of Amen. Not just as a word, but as a spiritual contract. As an act of co-creation. As your seal on what you're making real. Make a declaration. I understand the true power of Amen. I will speak it only from alignment. I will seal only what I truly know. I take responsibility for my words, and their creative power. Comment 222 if you're taking this vow. If you're committing to speak Amen consciously. If you're understanding that every Amen is a binding spiritual agreement. 222 is divine partnership and duality. When you comment it, you're announcing that you understand the partnership between your word and divine creation. Second, I need you to identify what you truly know to be true. What truth does your whole being resonate with? What knowing have you moved beyond belief into? That's what you seal with Amen. Comment 555 if you're committing to speaking Amen only from knowing. If you're releasing Amen spoken from doubt or hope. If you're choosing alignment over performance. 555 is divine truth and transformation. When you comment it, you're announcing that you're shifting into speaking truth with power. Third, I need you to understand that every time you speak Amen from this place of alignment, you're sealing reality. You're co-creating. You're activating divine power through your consciousness. Comment 888 if you're claiming your power as a co-creator. If you're understanding that your Amen activates abundance and transformation. If you're stepping into the spiritual authority that's always been yours. 888 is divine abundance and infinity. When you comment it, you're announcing that you're stepping into infinite creative power. Subscribe to this channel as a sign of your commitment to spiritual knowledge and conscious creation. Share this revelation with someone who needs to understand the true power of their words. And then, go back through your life. Think about the times you said Amen carelessly. Feel into what you sealed. Understand what contracts you made, without consciousness. Now, moving forward, speak Amen only from alignment. Seal only what you truly know. Use this word, with the full awareness of its power. Because when you do, when you speak Amen from complete alignment, you become a conscious co-creator with the divine. And that's when everything changes. Say Amen to that.